everyone, welcome to Leoguidance time. If this is your first time, and welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. It's so lovely to have you here. So today's pick a card reading is going to be all about how do people perceive you? How do people see you? So before further ado, let's get into the pile selection. So this is going to be group number 1 with the archetype oracle cards. This is going to be group number 2 with the Astro Oracle cards, star codes, Astro Oracle cards, and this is going to be group number 3 with the Moonology Oracle cards. So whenever you're feeling ready, you can either pause the video, do your selection in which way is calling out for you to do most or which oracle cards. I'll be using all of them, but whenever you're ready, you're going to find the timestamps in the description box below, and I'm going to see you at your pile, and I'm so excited for it. Hello, group number 1, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen these oracle cards, the archetype cards, then this is going to be your reading. So when I was tapping into your energy, I heard confident and intuitive, and I heard them when I was just actually drawn to this two gemstones, like the tiger's eye and the amethyst. So they might have been calling at you a little bit more recently as well. But let's get into a reading. We're gonna start with the archetype cards. So how do people perceive and see group number 1, Spirit? What do you want to say? Oof, we had the priest, and that came in quite fast. So light attribute says that it facilitates a spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. I said intuitive. And the shadow says that violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. I do not pick up by much of the shadow attributes in here, to be honest, but I'm hearing rebel. So even within the structures of this kind of being an intuitive person, let's say, or being in a spiritual community, you are not trying to fit in any kind of a box. So you're not that kind of a typical spiritual person that people perceive as to be. So people know that you're an intuitive person. You might have already revealed and just shown that you are a spiritual person. Maybe you do have a business that you're doing full-time or on the side, or maybe you have been already sharing those aspects about yourself with the people around you, so they do know it. But at the same time, you're not on this kind of typical sense of the spirituality. You know, some people expect and try to put people in a box that, okay, then you should, okay, I'm going into the extents, but you should starve, you shouldn't ask for more, you shouldn't be greedy, you don't want to be rich, or then basically you shouldn't be taking attention on yourself. You shouldn't put a lot of makeup or put that kind of a dress or an outfit on, etc. You don't want to have that kind of possessions or those kind of things. I was gonna go a little bit further and crazy about that, but yeah, you're not like that. So I feel like your energy and how you're presenting yourself up into the world as well, your hair, your makeup, or your skincare, whatever you're doing, if you don't put a makeup on, or how you dress, it is everything has its own vibrations, what I'm picking up. So you're not a person that anyone could fit into a box. So why people most of the time want to put us into a box is because it's gonna make it easier for them to understand us. So for a spiritual person, then it might be easier to basically stereotype the people in a way that, okay, they do not want much, they don't want to be show off, etc. But then with you, there is this side, there is that side, there is that side, there is that size. So there's a lot of size that the people are okay, so well, it's getting a little bit hard to understand. So you're not a person that is easy to pin down, easy to pinpoint, easy to keep the attention around. You might be here and then there at the other minute. So you're a type of person that requires and that kind of a demands the equal give and take of an energy. And then you're that type of a person who makes people feel if you're not meeting up my standards, then I'm not gonna waste my time. And it's not in a cocky sense, it's not in kind of a snobby sense. It is literally coming off from a self-worth. Okay, and And coming back to the priest, so the facilitates spiritual commitments and serves as a channel of a spiritual energy. You, the people around you also see you as an extremely helpful person, but it is not in the extent of your own well-being. Maybe that could have been a pattern in the past. Like if there were some people that knew you in the past, um they might have been defining you a while ago, like okay, like you might had some tendencies of wanting to please people, but now the people who have witnessed your growth or the new people that you have met upon, they know that you do set firm boundaries actually, but you do it so gently. And there are some boundaries that do not want to be crossed. Some people might be perceiving you as like, especially some close friends, that they do not want to be on your bad side because they might have witnessed how you have cut off people before, or how you have stood up for yourself, and it might have intimidated them a little bit. So also people perceive you as an intimidating person. Why can't I say that? But people also come to you for an advice. They do trust you, they do trust your judgment, they do know that you are going to give in a full truth. So you're a type of person that people go to when they want a full on truthful advice. So you're not gonna sugarcoat things, and they know that you're gonna be there when they need them, when they need someone that they can trust to. And people do trust you, and they know that you're not going to use any kind of like information against anyone. You are a type of a friend that they feel so lucky to have around, have in their life. I love that. We had the rescuer. It came in the reverse position, but let me read the light. So it says that provides strength and support to others in crisis. Yes, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. And the shadow says that assumes that the rescued will reciprocate. Assumes that the rescued will reciprocate. Keeps the rescued one needy. What I'm picking up with this energy is that what I have been mentioning with the boundaries. So people know that, okay, if they come to you with a problem, you're going to be there to help them. But if they come with you with the same problem again and again, you're going to set boundaries quite quickly because you do value your time a lot. And the people know that like they can't come to you with so much like a last minute plans maybe because they perceive you as someone who's quite like intimate, and reserved, like an introverted energy, and they do not know what you're up to always. And it's also a little bit intimidates them in a way that, like, if they want to make plans with you or something, and you're telling them, oh, like I've been so busy, etc. It's not because you're trying to be busy; it's because you have been really busy, and people cannot keep up with like everything you have been doing, and it also intimidates them a little bit because they know that whatever you put your time and energy into, it actually means a lot. And when it comes to this rescuer, how it connects is basically if you spare your time and if you were really there for someone when they needed help and you gave them your attention and you're like a true, genuine, honest energy, for the pure heart of helping them, and they fall back into the same traps again and again, then you are going to start setting some kind of like a boundaries, and you might be even like a little bit harsh with them. So they know that you're not that kind of like, oh honey, that's so bad, it should not happen for, no, 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 you're not that kind of like a friend. And they know that maybe like you do, like some people, some ingenuine people might be actually like bothering you a little bit, their energy. I'm not sure if I want to keep it up. I might be. Let's see. Okay, I'll get one more from here. So, oh, we have the lover under the bottom of the deck. I just like write it. I was just leaving them all like empty before, but I've been just channeling this. So the light attribute is like liked by many, get on well easily with people. For some people, it's unforgettable. In the shadow, it says that people can get obsessed over. So for some people, you are that light and love, and for others, it's like you're nearly like a scapegoat. So you do just like create that kind of like a polarity empathy for people. Some people really do love you when they're in your wavelength, and some people, like, you're just scapegoats. Like, thanks to you, they have someone to put a blame on, because they don't want to deal with their own shadow. Is there anything else? This was, oh gosh. We have femme fatale. So, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected, is a light. And the shadow says that inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. Oh my god, this is a polarity energy. You are an extremely attractive person, let me tell you that. Like, you exude a feminine energy regardless of your gender. And you lure people in. Like, for some people who's not ready for that energy, you're literally being like a mirror and shining their shadows, and people do not like that. And people might be also perceiving you as a person who's just craving for attention from the external people. Yeah, it cannot be any further away from the truth. You might love to get attention, but you do not perform to get that one. It's literally in your nature, how you move, how you present yourself. It's all about that. So some people, many people actually could get jealous over you, both men and women. It's just because how you are, literally how you move. It's extremely sensual. People love that. Like, you exude that kind of like a siren energy in here. And we have an additional card, Alchemist. So transformation of base motives and goes into golden wisdom. You do give people tools to how to turn pain into the wisdom, into the light, and how they can move forward in life. You might be doing it as a profession as well. Like, people do really like look up to you whenever it comes to a point in their life they feel really stuck. Like, you might just come across with people when they are going through such hard time, or like turning points in their life, in a way that you might have met with a lot of people in your life, like very randomly, very like a brief connections, either lovers, friends. Like, you are that kind of like a person, I'm getting chills, just put into people's life by the divine, because they have been going through that kind of like a specific time, to show them something, to give them some tool, give them some guidance, and it's all upon them to take that, to use that, etc. But you needed to be there, you agreed to be there. So you are literally the perfect tool that like divine likes to use to alchemize people's life. Like, this is your purpose, to be here to do that. So let's get more information about how do people perceive you. We have a lot. But I'm going to keep the Jupiter. So abundance. I love this. You might have a big Sagittarius placements in your sun, moon, Venus. Rising, and also I don't know why I saw Leo, but there was a sun in here. Maybe you have a big Leo placement as well. You might have a lot of fire in your sun, but people perceive you as such an abundant person. Like, people perceive you as someone like who's always and ever changing, and who, like, no one can ever stop it, and you're always going to be provided, you're always going to be abundant. Like there is nothing in this world that could just stop you. You might also love to travel. You might have a particular taste when it comes to your food, your drinks, and you might be into wine. You don't have to be. I'm just like seeing a wine bottle in here. So you really do like to experience like a nice and a luxurious things, or like indulge into your senses that this world can offer in this lifetime, because you're aware, and the people know that you're aware, that if you're in here, and I saw 13 on the clock, by the way, if you want to check the angel number, if you're in this world, if you have incarnated in here, I nearly want to say reincarnated, but if you're here, that you are very much aware that you do want to enjoy it, because like it's a privilege to be on earth and reincarnated onto earth, and then you're here, and why not to enjoy all that the earth can offer to us, is literally your kind of like a philosophy, and people do know that. Like, people love the sense of style that you have, how you dress yourself, how you present yourself, like quality. Like, people see you as a quality person inside and out. like you are who you are. Like what people see outside is they know that what they're going to get when they keep getting to know you. But there's a plot twist there that once they start getting to know you, there's always a lot more. It's like a matryoshka dolls, if I pronounce it correctly. Those like a little Russian dolls, the like you keep opening and then there's another one and then another one. Oh, and then another one. I just like hit my sorry. Oh gosh. I'm clumsy. Maybe you're clumsy too, but how do people perceive group number one? How many cards do we have? One. Thank you. We have third house communication that came in reverse. And we have 2 5s in here. Like 23 adds up to 5 and then 41 adds up to 5. You bring a lot of change and people know that you do have a lot to say, but you might not be the first spoken person in the room. You might not be the most loud person in the room. Like people see you as an observer, especially the first time when people met with you. They're like, oh my God, like why that person is maybe like, it's so intriguing. But then they haven't talked much, they haven't said much. I'm wondering what are they thinking. So the first people that they meet with you, they're like, that is quite interesting actually. Like they want to get to know you more, they want to hear about your opinions more. You're literally luring people in like a siren with your pure presence, especially once you're not giving them much, like by your words, by your attention, they want more. And whenever it comes to the people that has been in your life for a while, they know that you do have a lot to say, but it is important for you what to say, when to say, so you do not spill out everything. So people might also, again, the same message, like see you as a person who's conserved, who do not share everything, who do not overshare, who might have overgiven in the past, but who does not that anymore. And we have Sagittarius with the expand under the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you have a lot of wisdom and people see you as someone who is a guide for others and who's a natural leader and who could actually guide other people and can do that. Like they sense that you can do that as a profession if you're not already doing that. How do people perceive the number one? Oh my God, we have North Node, step outside of your comfort zone. Like people see you as someone like outwardly and they perceive you as someone like who has always a different perspective, who always like even sometimes pushes some people's buttons or like say some things out from the blue, like when you are the quietest in the room and then you might be just making a joke or saying something to someone and they might be like, what, come on. And then but like you do it with such like softness, with that feminine energy of yours, and you do it with such grace and confidence that no one can even just doubt your intentions because your energy speaks louder. So you can actually say some things that many people will be so like holding themselves back about saying it, just because you know that you own your energy and your energy speaks louder. Of course, you're so wise. And the people are like, how do they do that? Like, they admire that quality about you, how blunt you can be with all that authenticity and with all that confidence. And you do definitely, like people in your life who has been in your life for a long while, they know that you are there for a reason. And they're so happy that you are in their life. They see you as a blessing and they know that in order for them to keep being in your life, they have to upgrade themselves. There might have been some friends in your life that you kept like lost touch with. You might have some like periods of like not having enough contact or no contact, and they might come back to your life. And I feel like it's mostly on your terms in a way that like you recognize when people are falling off, falling back, and then you do not push for connections. And once you start feeling like energy is back there and you're attuned and in the same frequency and alignment, then the connection actually continues quite in a natural sense. And people do know it, like people do sense, even if they cannot say it out loud, that in order for them to stay in your life, they have to keep getting better and bettering themselves, growing as a person. So you are not for a light-hearted person, like in a way that like you are not a beginner level person. No, 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 no. Like you do require advanced things. Okay, you can just like go lower a little bit around the intermediates whenever it's needed, but you are the advanced level. Let's get last messages for the tarot about how do people perceive group number 1. Is there any more juice maybe we can get with the tarot? Let's see. We have Four of Pentacles in reverse. What is that? We have the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, this is a bit juicy in one. We have 10 of Swords in reverse, and under the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Cups. Okay, so group number 1. How do people perceive you? Yes, okay. You are someone that people definitely want to hold on to, but they know that they cannot always. Like you're someone that is a little bit like outside of the control, outside of their control. What you're gonna do, when you're gonna do, what you're gonna decide, like when are you gonna decide it? It's all like enigma for them. So you're not someone that the people can manipulate, that they see. You cannot be possessed with like a material possessions. If someone would have just wanted to keep you, let's say in a relationship, just because they have a great status, or like they have that kind of like a title, or that kind of like possession, the car, the house, etc., you're not going to be fooled by them. And whenever it comes to your friends, it's the same kind of like a thing. They perceive you as someone who's a little bit of an enigma, or who's also quite untraditional. Like they might might know that you are not the type of a person who wants the status quo, who does not want to work in a corporate job from 9 to 5 until the end of their life, or who just want to be like investment rich, or who doesn't know what they're passionate about. No, like people see you as outside of the box person, so they cannot put a pin on you. Again, with the Cycle 4 of Pentacles things, like you can leave at any situation at any time. If you have been living in somewhere for a while, I want to say for over 3 to 4 years, people might be wondering, when are they going to leave? When are you going to make a change? That is a specific message. Or when are you going to leave your hometown? Or when are you, some people, if you're not living in your hometown, some people might be wondering, when are you going to come back? I don't like that. So the Hanged Man in reverse energy in here is telling me that some people see you as a little bit stubborn. And that might be true. I'm a stubborn person. That might be true. Like some people might wish that like you might be a little bit more open from like seeing some other people's perspectives, or a little bit more open to their kind of like advice. I'm so sorry for this message, but like this is literally what's coming through. So because it does not take away from the amazing wisdom that you have and everything that those people still appreciate, and they would still come back to you about like any kind of like issues that they might be having, because they do trust your wisdom. But at the same time, some people also think that like you do have all the wisdom, and then for some reason like you are stuck in these situations. These are the people who know you, and then they're like, but why? Like they give the best advice, and I can just understand why they are like this, like why they have not gotten themselves out of this situation yet. So I guess like this is a general message from the spirit that is coming for you, saying that you do not see all the pieces of the puzzles yet. You might have some questions on your mind about some different areas of your life, about the whys, like why that hasn't happened yet, why it happened in this way, why, etc. The spirit is saying that the answers are coming to you. The entire picture has not revealed to you yet. And the people who really has the best interest of you in their heart, they're also kind of wondering the same questions, not with the same intensity, but they want the best for you. With the Ten of Swords in reverse, people see you as this alchemist who turned the pain into the gold. People see you as someone who knows what they want. They know you are that person who's not going to sway away by like very like a flaky energies, very like unrealistic, immature offerings. They know that you do fulfill your own cup, so you're only going to be available for a person who's in your standards in all kinds of like relationships. And they know that you might have sometimes tendencies about feeling stuck or feeling demotivated. And it might be because maybe sometimes you're like, I'm hearing from your spirit guides about victimhood, about like the painful events that played out in your past, that you might have a tendency to be like feeling a little bit more stuck or revisiting those memories. You need to recreate your own new persona, your new story, in order to basically detach from the past fully. But people see you as someone who literally turned pain into gold, and who's ready to like create that wisdom in a massive sense, to start helping people if you're not already doing it yet, because people see you as someone who's talented with their words. But group number one, these are all the messages I got for you. I hope that they were helpful, and I hope that they were resonating. I really love those messages. Literally, thank you so much for sharing your amazing energy with me. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed yet to my channel and want to see more of these videos, then please do consider subscribing. And also, that was a general reading. If you want a more personal one, you can find the details in my description box below, about how you can just like basically, if you want to book a reading with me. But I'm sending you a lot of love, and I do really hope to see you soon. Until then, please do take care of yourselves, and bye bye. Hello, group number two. Welcome to your reading. If you have chosen these star codes, astro oracle cards, this is going to be a reading. And before I start with your reading, like I have been getting a lot of like energies from you, and it was like a very grounded energy. People might be perceiving you as someone who's very like reliable and trustable, and I'm picking up a lot of masculine energy in here. So regardless of your gender, we both do have the feminine and masculine energies. So literally in my like mind's eye, what I'm just seeing is like you're a type of a person who could just keep going to the same cafe to work, or who could have some kind of like a regular activities you do, like your gym is your gym, so everyone knows like where you work out, or the type of like events that you keep going, it's like a regular, it keeps repeating itself, or like the type of things like how you spend your mornings, your where do you eat your lunch, and what do you like to do when you're like the evening time, or like your schedule in a weekly basis. It is very much put on a routine. So literally what I'm picking up is that people know where to find you if they want to. And also another very specific message that I get is a presence. You do have a presence. You might have literally a social media presence that people can follow up where you are, or you do have those routines that people know where to find you. And the another energy I have been picking up on, like take those messages if they're only resonating with you, by the way, is that you are a very reliable person in a way that like you are in a position, like you are in either an upper like a management position, like owning a company, CEO, like business related. So you do have a power, like people look up to you and people are depending on you, kind of like an energy. So you're not to be one to like a mess with, like you're like you do not give your time that freely. Like when people come to you, they have this kind of like I'm picking up that energy of like, okay. Like a little bit like they feel a bit anxious because you're extremely grounded. Like your presence speaks for himself. Like without you saying anything, people are feeling like as if you're telling to them, like, okay, yeah, just go ahead and speak. And people are not used to that kind of like energy. Like people want to just feel comforted and like start with a small talk and like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, that's the weather. And how have you been? Yeah, that's so hard. Yeah, that was so nice. And then, yeah, what else? You're not like that. It's like, yeah, okay, so tell me what it is. Like, what do you want? Kind of like energy, and it intimidates people. Very interesting. I will just put these cards aside, by the way, and I will just first start with your archetype card. So, how do people perceive group number two, Spirit? How do people perceive group number two, Spirit? How do people perceive group number two, Spirit? do people perceive group number 2? Oh my god, I got this card for group number 1 as well, the priest. So the light attribute says that the facilitates a spiritual commitment, serve as a channel of spiritual energy. And the shadow says that violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. I am picking up the light attributes in here, and I want to actually get a little bit more cards about it because some messages were, a little bit like similar with group number 1, but your energy is different. This praise is talking about to me in a way that people do look up to you, like people do look up to you. Like for group number 1, it was more of like getting an advice, being a very reliable person with a genuine heart, a lot of feminine energy with you. People do look up to you and they need you to be provided, to be provided. That is the masculine energy I'm picking up on in here. So this is a masculine in here who's looking over basically the woman in here. You might literally be a father, you might be a father figure, or you might be a mom with a lot of masculine energy within her, mainly dominated from a masculine energy. You are the structure that people need. You know that in order for feminine energy to flourish, the masculine needs to be that kind of like a safe container. You are that safe container people see you as. So within your presence, people feel safe, really do safe to speak about anything that they want. They know that you're never going to judge them. And you are a very reliable person. The third time I might be saying that, like a facilitate spiritual commitments. So you are literally going to provide space for the people, going to make it happen for whatever needs to just like fall back on tracks. Let's say whatever needs to happen. So you are going to create that space, that structure, whatever needs to happen. Like your love language could literally be acts of service. And I'm not picking up like a heavy energy here about you being a highly spiritual person, very open about it, and like, but the energy I'm picking up is that like you are not having anything against it in a way that you do not like say things like, oh no, like this is like ridiculous, or no, I don't believe in those things much. I mean, you're in this reading, but that is an energy of like serves as a channel for spiritual energy. You are a channel for spirit through what you're doing. Like a spirit is saying that regardless of you knew it or not, you are and you're always going to be. Like however you're doing things, the way that you're doing things, like basically your soul, the things that you crave to do, like the reason why you want to serve to people, the reason why you want to create a safe space for people, the reason why your energy feels so inviting and safe for people and reliable for people. It is all for a reason. So you are a channel. Maybe we are going to get a little bit more messages about here, like how you are a channel too. But like I want to keep going and see what spirit is going to bring actually. So how do people perceive group number 2 spirit? How do people perceive group number 2 spirit? Okay, we do have 2 cards. Sorry for the loud noise. We have the damsel. That is so interesting. Light attributes. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspire you to rely on yourself. And shadow says that waiting for night to provide for you seduction by romantic illusion. But the damsel in here, like, oh, the colors are so different even. So it says that understanding the nature of a healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. People see you as someone who's extremely reliable the 4th time. It is because you do rely on yourself. You do provide for yourself and you do know your needs. And you're not going to lower your standards. So you're a type of a person people see that either you are in a very healthy relationship or you're a very healthy person, and they know that like if you ever consider someone to let into your space, that is for sure a sign that you are in for it. You do really see someone, like something in that someone as a potential that fulfills your criteria. You're not someone who's gonna be there for hookups, no. One night stands, no. You do have your standards, like you, it's not like you can't, you do not give up on, let's say, how does it call, you do not give up on like your like lover nature. I couldn't even like say the word, like you do not get tempted, yeah, you do not get tempted by like lower vibrations. And also people see you as such a guard, like guard in a way that like even like physically, I'm just picking up that energy of like someone who can just also like protect people around them or themselves against any kind of like a bad intentions or bad energies. We have the judge. So light attribute says that balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. That is that reliable energy in here. Literally, like balancing justice and compassion. You are the leader. You are the leader people look up to be provided, to be just getting the justice, who can like literally trust that like you do have the best intentions of everyone at heart, and people do trust the decisions that you make, even if it's in a sense that like you do make some decisions and it is going to be a decision that they're going to be actually unhappy. They can ever badmouth it because they actually do trust it. Like you might literally be the someone that tells the very blunt truth to someone, and then even if it's something that they really do not like, and it opens their eyes, and they'll be like, I really, okay, I don't like it, but I guess that is true. Maybe I should look myself in the mirror a little bit and then like think about it. And then you do not provide those things with a harshness. Like even though you are mainly operating from a dominant masculine energy, you do like give it in a very like a healthy divine energy that people want to receive it. They do not like deflect it. And you are providing for many people again. I love this energy. And we have bully under the bottom of the deck. It says that highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Yeah, you do not give in for any kind of like a lower intentions or lower energies. You stand up for yourself, and you literally do stand up for others. There is an extreme energy of self-worth in here. You that intimidates people. Like many people you provide, they respect the hell out of you. I'm so sorry. And I guess like this is a kind of language that you don't use, I feel, but that is what it is. Okay, so how do people perceive group number 2, Spirit? Can we get more information? How do people perceive group number 2, please? How do people perceive group number 2? We have Pisces, sensitive in reverse. Some people might be perceiving you as someone who is a little bit detached from the emotions, and that also like it gives me some a little bit of a contradictive energies about like heads up in the clouds. Like that heads up in the clouds energy is not like aligning with anything I said until now, but I just feel guided to say that. And mostly this is an energy of like some people see you as overly analytical and overly rational, and they wish that you might be a little bit more emotional at times. And I want to get a little bit clarity upon that like heads up in the clouds energy. Pluto rebirth. Some people think that you're also a little bit too like set up in your own ways. There might be some stubbornness energy. I'm so sorry. You might not be so open to some changes. And there might be some areas in your life that some people think and they might be some people that know you a little bit. They don't have to know you that much, but maybe literally it's an energy that they pick up on like in some specific areas of your life. You might not be so open to hearing some truths, let's say. Hence that energy I'm picking up on about like heads up in the clouds. So you might have a tendency to ignore some things just because you do not like what it might be, actually, to see the reality of it in some specific area of your life. So what is that? I just want to get clarity about that one specifically, Spirit. The Pisces in reverse, heads up in the clouds. Can you say something more about that? What is this? The ninth house, exploration, ninth house in reverse. So ninth house is it is an energy of, basically, it's the house of, wait, it is the, yeah, that is a Sagittarius, yes. And it might be about the traveling, it might be about some esoteric knowledge, let's say. You might be a little bit more guarded towards like any information and anything on a level that is going beyond the rational, that is going beyond the science. So you might be a little bit more, let's say, irrational, but I have one other word for it. Sorry for my lagging at the moment. You might be a little bit more biased, yes. So you might need a little bit more convincing towards it. You might be still in that kind of like a transition phase, let's say. By the way, my guides want me to tell you that, like, you are a spiritual leader. You might not be there accepting it yet. So I do not know what kind of like a people yet they perceive you as like this. Or maybe they're just picking up on an energy and they cannot just actually like say it out loud, but that is a bit of a dominant energy that's in here. And some people also perceive you as someone who's just quite have been living in this one place for a long while, and they're just wondering, with all your resources and everything, why you are not living in some other place. I pick up that kind of like energy with group number 1 as well. And we do have the 12th house, introspection. So this is the house of the Pisces. Are you Pisces? You might be a Pisces, yeah. So the 12th house in reverse, introspection. Yeah, this is energy of like literally like disconnected from your intuition. Okay, like you are the spiritual guide, you are the channel, but then now we are just picking up on that energy. I forgot even what I said, like I even forgot that I mentioned it. Not what I said, but I mentioned it there. So there are messages in here for you, group number 2, from your guides specifically, that might make you feel uncomfortable. You might not like the messages a little bit, but like it is what it is. Literally, if those messages have been just like these messages have been like resonating with you so far, like you are ignoring your intuition. Like there are things that you pick up on, of, like clear audience is what I'm hearing. Like you might be hearing some stuff, literally, like within your own, like with your own voice, maybe like in your head, and you're like, but that does not make sense, and you might just start like picking up cues upon the fact that they were actually correct. And then you're trying to just rationalize them. You're trying to like push them up onto the side. You are a spiritual channel, you are a spiritual leader, but you are now in a position of being a practical leader. You have a potential to combine them both, literally. And when it comes to how people see you and perceive you, they know that there's so much deep within the surface that you are not letting them know of. Like you are giving such a stable energy that people might not be like putting their finger on, in a way that you might be someone who's extremely intuitive and pushing your intuition down, but in a way that they actually perceive you as someone that all these stuff, you already mastered those stuff, but there are some parts of you that's so like mysterious, and you're not just like being so open about them on purpose, is the message I'm getting. Okay, so let's see more about like how do people perceive group number 2, spirit. Sagittarius energy. Have I mentioned it? Was there Sagittarius card in it? Yeah, the 9th house. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon and Sagittarius. You are that person who can see the bigger picture. You're someone who's extremely decisive, and people also depend on your decisions, and also they trust in your decisions. You're an extremely powerful decision maker, nearly, I want to say this, just also because like you do not get stuck with the details of the situation. You can always just offer like a bigger perspectives, which helps people. It might look so simple at the time, but it actually do helps people immensely. And there's again this like a big travel energy. Maybe you're traveling a lot, but you have not relocated properly, and there's this energy of like being in the public eye. Like you might literally be someone that people can follow up on social media to see where you are at, if that's the case. And the bottom of the deck energy, we have you are very close to achieving your goals. At the moment, people perceive you as someone who has a hidden agenda about his or her personal life, who's gonna get there very soon. But they are like, but what is that? I want to know that. You have a very alluring energy that it draws people in, and you might not like it in a way that like you might have very like a unstable, shallow, flaky energies like thrown themselves at you, and you're like, no, not again. So it's just because the mystical energies just keep luring people in, and then you're like, but I'm here for quality. There's too much quantity, and it's like it does not make any sense. It just does not cut it. So yeah, that was some additional message. But let's get your final cards with the tarot about like how do people perceive you, group number 2. What your spirit guides wants to say. How do people perceive you? We have 6 of Cups. There is a lot of people. You might be still keeping connections with the people in your past, in your hometown, in your childhood. You might still be living in the place where you born, like your hometown or the same country. I mean, where do I put it? I put it here. Okay. People also see you as extremely generous and helpful, literally. Like you might be volunteering at, I'm here in church, it doesn't have to be you. You might be volunteering at some like a good cause. You might be also donating money on a regular basis and people not even know it. You do not want, if you are in the public eye, you do not want to be known. Like I'm literally just like thinking about Sia right now. You know how she just wears that like a big wig so that her face is gonna be covered so that she can just keep her privacy. It's the same kind of like energy. You want to keep your privacy. Like you do not want to be known for like wrong reasons. You do not want to get attention just to get attention. That is not your purpose. That is so beautiful. You are extremely reliable to your family. You're extremely genuine. Like there is a side of you in the business that is extremely like a grounded, stable, and very decisive, and can be looked so rational at the moment that people feel so intimidated towards. And there is that very soft side of you whenever it comes to the people you truly care about, especially your family. People see you as someone who has a lot of options as well, like who could just live anywhere, who could do anything they want, who could have anyone they want. We have 2 of Wands in reverse. People see you as someone who turned down a lot of offers, a lot of options, a lot of opportunities because you do know what you want. Or some people think that you're still on the merge of discovering what you actually want. You are not open to travel. There's something about travel. I do not know why people are hooked up on you not traveling or you're not living in somewhere else, but there is something about that. King of Pentacles, you are the King of Pentacles. Like there's also Pisces energy, but there's this like Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy. You might have a heavy Capricorn. You might have a rising in your Capricorn as well. You do not have to be. You might be one of those signs as well. Like Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus might be also prominent. You do seek for comfort though. Like you're the type of a person who just wanna like come back home to peace, and like genuinity. That is your end goal. If you're ever gonna end up with someone, or if you're already in a relationship, your partner is the one that makes you feel that. Like you do want that softness. You do want that stability and care and genuine energy that you know that you do give. And you are very aware that there are some things that you can't provide it for yourself, and that is going to be the part from your partner's part. What's about this Two of Wands? Three of Cups. Like, you might be invited to a lot of places. You might be in a lot of events and a lot of kind of like a gatherings, but you're never the one who just takes it so far. You're still so grounded in those like aspects or in those settings. You always do have your boundaries up. There's a time that you're going to leave the party, you're going to leave the event, or there's always a certain way that you dress or you present yourself. There's always some kind of like a wall that people perceive, that people really want to get close to you. People really do want to get under your skin, I want to say. I'm so sorry. And then like you have those boundaries and the people are like, oh gosh, it makes me want it more. Kind of like energy, sorry. Let's get the last card. But how do people perceive group number 2? I hope that was somehow clarifying for you, group number 2. The messages were a little bit here and there. So, interesting, because the last card that we had is Three of Swords in reverse. People see you as someone who is extremely conserved whenever it comes to your heartbreaks. People do not know about your like history. People do not know about your like a relationship history. What kind of like partners that you had. What kind of like struggles you had. Or if you're even in pain, like everything is just going so much below the surface. Like, you're not the type of a person that the others are gonna know that when you're in suffering, or when you're in need help. You always just retract upon your shell. It's like a Cancer energy, and you heal yourself within. You're extremely independent. And I want to say, if you're not already in a partnership, if you're not already like married or like in a committed relationship, your partner, the biggest criteria for your partner is going to be not that, I feel like, not that you know of or you look out for it, because you got used to so much of being the one who's enough for him or herself. But whenever that person comes in, if you're like a single or not in a relationship, then you are gonna start lowering your guard down. Like, there are going to be some things change in a beautiful way for you. And we have Five of Swords under the bottom of the deck. This is an energy of like, you are very, very soul. And you sometimes get so tired about like fighting your own battles. And it's a message coming from your soul that makes me feel a bit like Terry. And it's like, you wish at times when you are all by yourself and you could never ever admit it to anyone. I feel you wish that there could be someone that you could really trust on, who could really understand you, and then like you can share like the deepest part of your souls or desires or struggles, and it's never going to be used against you. But if this is what you're craving for, then it's because it's meant for you to have it, and you're going to. But group number 2, these are all the messages I got for you. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with me. And I hope that you got something out from this reading. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. It really does help me. And also, if you're not subscribed yet and like this kind of like a content, you're so much welcome to my community. I would love to have you here. And this was a general reading. If you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can find how you can just book a reading with me down in the description box. But I'm sending you a lot of love and a beautiful energy, and I do really hope to see you next time. Until then, please do take care of yourselves, and bye bye. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. So if you have chosen these Moonology cards, then this is going to be your reading. So we are going to start your reading first with the archetype cards, and then we are going to continue later on with the Moonology cards. So I'll put it aside. And let's just dive deeper into your reading, group number 3. So Spirit, I will just put them back. How do people see group number 3? How do people perceive and see group number 3, Spirit guides? Of group number 3. How do people perceive and see group number 3, please? I'm just picking up like a fun energy guide. Light attribute, it says that represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. And the shadow says that places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insights. You might be so like drawn to owls. You don't have to be, but you are that guide. You are that silent guide. Nature of the divine in life and in yourself. I don't know if you guys are a writer or you have written something or you're into poetry. There is a very silent wisdom within you, like a book that wants to be written within you. And I'm not sure if you have done it yet or if you have been getting insights about doing that. So, people love to read like whatever is coming from you. Love to hear your words, but I'm not picking up so much spoken energy in here. It is an energy of like something written, like something put out into the like a universe and put out into the world. We have shapeshifter under the bottom of the deck. It says that skills at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see potential in everything. Like, okay, I'm picking up an energy that you are a star seed and you do have a wisdom of lives and lives that you have reincarnated in, especially lifetimes that you have not been reincarnated in Earth. So you have been in other galaxies or other star systems, and you do have a wisdom coming from there, and that is to be shared. But how do people see group number 3? I might want to get some additional cards for you later, but let's see. How do people see group number 3? Exorcist. Oh my god. Freeing yourself and others of this destructive impulses. I'll get one more card. Again, the shapeshifters under the bottom of the deck. We have the Knight. Light attribute says that loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. And we have here Mother. So light attribute says that nurturing, patient, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. You are here to give birth to life of something. Whether it is to be literally, to be a mother, to be a father, to be a parent, a very loving one. And like you do have a lot of like a bluish, purplish colors and the heart chakra color of a green in here. And we have father, mother, and a father. Oh my god, under the bottom of the deck. Talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal or a unit. Like you might literally meant to be a parent in this lifetime if you're not already yet. And you might literally be a single parent as well, but like you're doing it with such a grace and a ease. And people see you if you're a single parent as such a grace and a ease, like full of like a beautiful balanced energies of this like divine feminine and divine masculine energies. You are the perfect guide. Like people love how much of a caring and amazing like a mother, I want to say nearly you are, but like how much of a great father or like a parent that you are. People might even look up to you about the guidance in terms of like a parenthood. Literally, you are that nurturing figure. And like one of the reasons why you literally incarnated in this earth is to share your wisdom and literally to be a parent, because I guess you are here that like you becoming a parent is going to break out some kind of like karmic cycles that has been lingering there for such a long while. Like you agreed upon coming to this earth at this time to like cut ties with some kind of like ancestral lineage, like a patterns that has been like accumulating there for so long, I guess. But there's some more info about it. Let me get more info. Why have you reincarnated on Earth? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go back to the topic, how do people see you, I promise. Why you have incarnated? Okay, so you are also here to heal like a lack mindset that you do have, especially towards your finances and especially towards your resources, and you are here to speak up. You are here to speak up. how you are going to heal that like mindset that you have been accumulating, that has been accumulated before you over the years, especially when it comes to the parenthood, is by speaking up. Because there is a lot of figures in your family lineage, it might be women mainly, it doesn't have to be, who has suppressed their thoughts, who pushed it down, down, down. So that has accumulated as some kind of like a lack mentality. And you are here to be the one who's going to speak out to heal that. So you are here to live in abundance. And in order for you to do that, literally, you have to start speaking up and start stepping into your own power. And how are you going to speak up? Is literally you embodying that guide energy that you are. You are here to be abundant, and your family lineage, especially your like a kids, if you have them, or if you don't have, I'm literally picking up an energy that you are here to be a parent for them to live abundantly as well. Like however you have lived until now, like your kids' life is going to be so way different. Oh my god, like in the best way possible. Okay, so you are a guide. Do you know that? People see you as a guide, but also people see you that you don't have a lot of wisdom that you are not sharing with them. Like you're holding yourself back, and people are like, why are you doing that? Like people might be feeling a little bit like shocked that like once they tell you their input, or their once they I'm so sorry, I'm speechless. People are also feeling speechless about the things that you say. Like once you give them your opinion or your guidance, your advice, and people are, oh my god, that was amazing, like blah blah blah. So when they give you feedback, and if they pick up that you got surprised a little bit in a way that like, I didn't know that was that good, or I thought that that was like a common information or something, and people feel like, why? Like that was amazing. How are you not aware of that? People are amazed that you are not already acting as a guide, acting as a counselor, acting as that person who can lead the groups. You are here to be up on the stage. You are here to talk about the things that you have lived up until now. You are here to share your guidance, and people do see that. You are here to free yourself and the others of the destructive impulses. I guess like you have been like drawing a lot of souls into your life that has a destructive patterns and impulses towards you and towards themselves. So you are that like a light worker. I'm just getting chills. Like once you step into your power, the darker energies are gonna be afraid of you, and people do pick up on that. You are going to start withdrawing a lot of people from now on. Especially the more you step into your power, the more you're gonna start like withdrawing those souls to yourself who has been through those destructive patterns, who has been gone through more or less similar things that you've gone through, so that you do have a wisdom to share with them. You are going to be the protector for them. You are going to be the exorcist for them. You're going to be the one standing up for them. I'm getting full body chills when I'm saying that, and that is always my confirmation that I can't just like push aside. At the same time, people see you as an extremely loyal person. You are such a loving person, but people do also like a pick up that energy that, okay, there's a side of you you haven't tapped in yet, and people can like pick up on that a little bit. Once you like step into that energy, you're gonna be unstoppable, because you are presenting yourself at times an extremely like moderate, extremely loving, extremely approachable, but people do pick up that energy that you can switch it up in a blink of an eye. Like you can be as assertive, as like with highest standards as possible, and even as snobby as you would like so, and it will just fit on you so well, because you do deserve it. Like not everyone should have an access to you. So that loving and caring energy that you do have, your spirit guides are saying that just be discerning who you're just like letting in, because not everyone deserves it. You do know it. Like it's just all about you recognizing and stepping into your own power to do that. So it's gonna feel natural, and it's not gonna feel forced, and you're like the hearing that message, this message is actually not gonna feel that awkward. If it's feeling a little bit awkward, so there is a message that I never said it in one video, but you can just save this reading and like listen to it after a while, maybe, I don't know, a couple of months after, 4 6. I'm so sorry that I'm not saying so much about how do people see you. I'm very sorry, but sometimes I'm really guided to say most of, I'm just guided to say whatever I'm guided to say. So I can control this so much, but let me try to push it. And about how do people see you, and I guess it's going to be a bit of a longer reading, but so you are a guide, and people see you as someone that they can rely on. If they are ever going through a hard time, they pick up and feel that energy that they can come to you and you are going to rescue them. Like, thinking about you and knowing your presence in their life, it uplifts people. That's why Spirit is saying that be very careful about your energy. There might be too many people, too much people who has been just like, like putting their claws on you. Like, if this is you and you're guided to have some labradorite, because it's also like protect you towards any kind of like I don't want to say ill intentions, but like removing other people's energies from you, because I don't pick up that there are so much people or like people around you who want to do harm to you. No, it's just that subconsciously, when people know that there is someone who can save them, they might be attaching their hopes and dreams and energy onto you, just like this. Just like this. But then you need to be let alone. So once you start cutting ties and protecting your energy, they can't approach you as much. Does that make sense? So hence, like, you have an extremely inviting energy because you're a light worker, because this is your life mission in here, to literally just like heal your lineage and help people to guide them, literally being that leader. And you might have some kind of like specific messages if you ever want to connect to like the previous tribes or previous lifetimes that you have incarnated up in this planet. Indigenous people, is it? So you might get some different messages there. You might have some eye-opening, revealing messages there that I just want to say. You are here to create your own tribe, literally. You're here to like lead some kind of like a mass. Yeah, some people in your life who has also like a seen you at quite like earlier times and earlier ages, they see how much of a giving person that you can be. And still there are some tendencies of those people taking you for granted. Again, Spirit is like, I saw 1313, you might want to look out for that. Again, Spirit is like, be careful. Be careful, not in a way that, oh, anything bad is gonna happen. No, 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 no. You're extremely protected. I hope you do know that. But it's in a way that like, like it's just like it doesn't have to go so far, like you don't have to waste your energy. So if you be a little bit more careful about people's intentions and like open your eyes in a way that like you want to actually see and you want to accept the things that is happening around you, then it can make your life easier that way. Oof. So let's see what else. How do people see group number 3, Spirit? Your spirit guides really do want to talk with you. Like in this kind of like a reading, I'm trying to channel and hear about, how do people see you. Your spirit guides are about like, it does not matter how do people see you, because it literally tells me right now that you might be giving too much of your power away, or that might have been a tendency, and it's already healing a little bit. That how are you perceived, how are you being seen, there might have been those people pleasing tendencies, and now you're at the stage of taking your power away from them, taking your power back to yourself and feeling a little bit more empowered. So hence your spirit guides are like stepping up and saying that, hey, we want to talk with you. Yeah, there are those people that are thinking about these and those and those and things, but we want to talk about you. Like, you can see that the many masters that I have been channeling in here up until now are about like the empowering sides of you that people see, because this is what you are stepping into. The other sides that people might be perceiving or seeing about you, I just want to say it's nonsense. It's none of your business. So how do people perceive my group number 3, Spirit? And you're a funny person, I want to say that too. Like, it is not coming up here a lot at all, but I do want to say that. How do people perceive my group number 3, Spirit? How do people perceive my group number 3s? What else? How does a group number 3 seen by others? okay, I'll get this. Progressions journey 56, it adds up to 11. So you definitely did like live many different lifetimes in here, and people see you as someone who's ever progressive, like you're always evolving, like you're always healing, and you do have this kind of like a childlike innocence energy. And if someone ever wants to stay at where they are at in life, they're not going to stay in your life forever. They pick up that energy because you're ever growing. So in order for people to stay in your life, they have to evolve and grow with you, maybe in their own pace, but you do require that kind of like energetic like a layout, if you haven't been already aware of it yet. And then in group number one, I pick up that kind of like a message as well, but this is a bit like a different energy. But maybe you were drawn to group number one, or you came from that group, but you are a progressive group. And then you are very also like an open-minded individual, that people think so. Like people love to talk with you, people love to exchange ideas with you. You might love extreme long conversations. The Gemini might be kind of prominent in your chart, but you're an extremely progressive person. And then people also see you as someone who has been through a lot in their lifetimes, who have been through a lot of hardships, and they admire that how intact you are. People are like, what? Like if you will ever have to share your story, your life story, it will amaze people that how you are like basically gone through to the other side. Like what helped you to get through that? Like people would have been like, I would never be able to just like, stay sane or not turn into a savage after that. Like, and you are still a pure light, you want to help people, like how come? So there's a part of you that really wants to be shared. Writing, poetry, using your words, something there, please do consider. Then we have Sirius, nurture, and that came in reverse. People also see you as someone who's overgiving. Like you have a lot of beautiful, like a knowledge, but also beautiful energy. But the people are like, why is he or she just like keep overextending themselves? Like they also see and acknowledge the things that has been so unfair for you, and it might feel a little bit like I don't feel like I'm gonna tear up, but I do feel the heaviness in my heart. So maybe you're getting a little bit emotional by hearing that, or it's also like have a very like a heavy place in your heart, in your body. So spirit is just coming up with a specific message saying that there are some emotions stored in your body, and only way to actually release them is not through kind of like a mental work, but is to feel them. You might try to do it through some kind of like a somatic exercises, through some meditation, but there's a lot of like a blocked emotions trapped around your chest area, is what I want to say in here. And we have trine, sextile, the symbiosis. People see you as an extremely lucky and abundant person. If you have an animal, or like if you're out in the nature, like literally it speaks to you. If you have not discovered that one yet, if you're like living in a place that maybe like you can just have some hikes or be out in nature. You know those people who talk with the trees and then they actually just move and respond to them, etc. So you do have that kind of like a potential, and animals might really love you and then drawn into you. It's like the kids as well. You just exude that kind of like pure energy that like the people whose soul has been like tamed, they can't like put a pin on it, and they might actually project onto you. So you might have attracted a lot of like tame souls, the shadow ones. It's because they have been drawn to your light, and now you're just like basically knowing how to set boundaries around it, learning around that. But people see you as an extremely abundant person. They pick up that energy that you were meant to be at some place. You are gonna be abundant, and this is an energy that they might not say it out loud, but they do feel it, and they might not even know how to say it. But people also feel lucky, the ones that have you in their life for so long, to just so lucky to have you in their life. If you have kids, they feel so lucky about that. Like your family and even the people in the past who hurt you, they know what a blessing you are, literally. So how do people see group number 3, Spirit? How do they see group number 3? How do people see group number 3? We have 2 cards. It's time to release negativity. Full moon is Scorpio. Scorpio might be prominent in your chart. And we have conclusions are within reach. Eclipse. People see you as an extremely independent person who can just solve all of his or her problems, and you do not need help, and you do work behind the closed doors, and you might not be sharing a lot with people, especially when you're going through hard times. So people think that you're actually going through your shell, and maybe you do not trust people enough, and people pick up on that. People know that, and also they might be also feeling a little bit guilty about how they treated you, especially the people in the past. And people know that you have a dark side, but you have not showed it to them. And low-key, they might be scared of it if you were to be like, if someone stepped on your foot, um, especially with that newer version of you that's emerging, but full of self-confidence and self-worth and self-love. They're like, oops, I don't want to go there. I don't know what is gonna come out of that Pandora's box. So you start just emanating that kind of like an energy. And people, like, they might not say it like, oh, like she or he done a lot of shadow work, but then they feel that there is a lot that you have been suppressing and you haven't been telling to people. They pick up an energy that you're very, very like you're very like a strong person. And for the people who has been with you intimately, they're not forgetting you. They're never ever gonna forget you. You're always gonna be on the backside of their mind. It doesn't matter. I am so sorry for like saying this. I'm not trying to be petty or anything, but it doesn't matter who they're gonna end up with. Your experience is always gonna linger. Just wanna say that. That you're unforgettable. Okay. Okay, so let's get your last cards with the tarot in here. But how do people see my group number 3, Spirit? How do people see my group number 3s? And they love your energy, and they love your body and how you carry yourself. It's addictive. You're addictive to your romantic partners. 9 of Pentacles, we saw that before. You're a very independent person. You do not need anyone. Like literally, that's the single parent kind of like energy. You might be, you don't have to be. But you exceed that energy of like, I can do it all by myself. And it's not coming from a pity. It's like because you've done it all by yourself. And people see that. Again, a bird. It's so cute. You might literally be downloading information. Like in a way that like this energy is a guide energy. Like please put attention whenever you feel inspired to create or write down something. It is literally you are channeling information. Like it is meant to be shared with others when you feel comfortable to do that. So, but I feel like you have been also like playing so safe about it for a while. So maybe it's time for you to actually start putting it out there a little bit. We have Page of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. It's like different people perceive you in a different way, in a way that like people know that like you do have some things you're working behind the scenes. Maybe you started on quite multiple different things, but you just like like leave it here or there and there, and the people are like, but like if you ever just continue on that one path, it's gonna just create amazing things. And people know that you're a very multi-talented person, and people think that sometimes you're swept away by different ideas. Again, it's kind of like a Gemini energy. You're very much stimulated by the mind, and you can be easily distracted is what people see. And people see you as someone who's extremely attractive and who has a lot of like suitors for him or herself. And they see that also, like, you have been through a lot of heartbreaks whenever it comes to relationships, especially, so you might be a little bit more reserved, or people think that you might not be yet ready for a full-on relationship. But this is literally like people's opinions, like, you know yourself of course better. And people see you as someone who is not gonna like invest him or her energy anymore on some things that is not worth for the fight anymore. And sometimes they feel like you can like procrastinate about making decisions because you might be overly in your head, and it's just because you're trying to maybe not to feel your emotions and over rationalize them a little bit. Yeah. And people also feel like you might have a tendency to overwork yourself for the times that you are trying to procrastinate upon making any kind of like decisions. But this is all I got for you, group number 3. I hope that these messages were somehow helpful for you. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing and beautiful energy with me. So if you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me. And if you're not if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do consider it. So if you like the reading and if you want to see more of these content, and this was a general reading. If you ever want to book a personal reading with you, you can find the information in the description box. But I'm sending you lots of love. Please do take care of yourselves, and I really do hope to see you next time. Until then, please take care and bye bye.